Tommy Robinson. The ignorant and stupid would sit around the guillotine, knitting, waiting for the entertainment to begin. The gory death of a member of the resistance was the treat that awaited them. These women would support the left-wing politicians, the ones of the day. Ironically, the left created the two-tier society of opulence and poverty. Imprisoned for years for the crime of stealing food, the death penalty dished out for the crime of resistance. We sit here now, centuries after this era of tyranny, with our smartphones and our laptops, our fast food and easy travel, our plethora of choices plain to see. This easy life now has an undercurrent of foreboding, as decades of left-leaning politicians have excluded us from the truth and replaced it with a narrative that we know to be a lie. It's easy to propagate through the willing mainstream media. Their very income depends on it. Their participants well rewarded as their consciences seem to disappear. The many that were once the few now see all this with open eyes, and our own resistance has begun. It takes courage to speak out and chip away at the veneer hiding the truth. Some have paid a heavy price. They lost their careers, their homes and their standing in society. Even worse, their liberty for crimes with no clear victims. Southport, a prime example of the decay of our trust. Anger put into words as the repressed had worked out a reality the left-wing government decided to hide to avoid unrest. These people, incarcerated as foul wrongdoers, are freed to create more space. This upside-down world sees many devils in control. Their soulless eyes and empty words now rule us. One man, a dissident, is paying the heaviest price for his bold defiance. His victim is the system. It doesn't bleed or cry out in pain, and it doesn't die and leave a family in mourning. It recovers from this crime in an instant. Yet here we sit watching a man decay before our very eyes. A safety measure becomes more of a punishment. Isolation is the tool of a torturer. Isolation is the tool of punishment. During prolonged periods of this unnatural state, a sense of hopelessness kicks in. The will to survive dims, especially when nourishment is depleted because it's possibly contaminated. I can't do much for this man known as Tommy Robinson, but I can try and appeal to the modern day knitters who are quick to point out his track record, albeit somewhat twisted to justify their inhumanity, to accept that despite their dislike of this man, they should realise that what is happening to him does not need to be done. There is a better way. Our justice system is there to decide on punishment, not to do more harm. A fact that all of us should be able to agree on and united. Now, the reason I've written this, I can't do much, but if there's one thing that everybody benefits from, whether it's a cause or a business or even a product line, it's publicity. That's why advertisers spend so much on it. That's why catchphrases take off. It does exactly what it says on the tin, because you're worth it. It's because you've had that point hammered home to you time and time again. So if you want this man to be noticed, and he is being noticed right across the world, and we are being shamed by the people in charge of our system, then the best thing to do is just keep it going. Talk about it. I'm not talking about his crime. The punishment has been dished out for that, and the safety measure has now become abhorrent, and there should be a better way. What were they willing to do? Move him to a safer prison? Move him to an open prison? He's not a threat to life, and he certainly isn't a danger to other people. It's others who are a danger to him, and this fact should be recognised by our system. But sadly, we seem to be losing that fight for many people, and I only see this as getting worse. So it's Tommy Robinson today. No doubt you'll point out on the thread his real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, and the media are only too willing to point out his checkered past as a young man going down the wrong path who decided to change. But let's not clutter the narrative up with that. Let's just hammer it home, like the advertising points. Tommy Robinson, former EDL. We don't afford that. to the criminals that the mainstream media have shielded, like Jimmy Savile and Hugh Edwards. So I do my bit when I can and where I can, and try and keep the flame alive until this man is treated better